Hey guys, call this the after party. This is the after party after having Dr. Pearl Jarrett on the show, talking about how to reinvent yourself, your career, and your business. I mean, she said so much today, and I just we had such a short time in the show, went on for twice the length of time. But what was important about this show, I wanted to hear how you felt and how it came across to you, how to reinvent yourself. And the reason for coming back right now with this question and answer session is because there's so many people out there right now who are facing decisions in their own life about what they should be doing, how they should be doing it, and not sure what to do, not sure what to do. And what Dr. Pearl Jarrett was able to summarize in that time was that as a result of making a decision about where she was, as a result of deciding in her own head about what she wanted for her life once and for all, she moved and shifted her own mindset. And the end result, so if you look at where she was, and if you look at where she is now and what she did after that, you can see the transformation. Now, she ended up starting the Jarrett Foundation in 2005. She ended up talking to schools. She ended up talking to mums. She spoke to everybody about getting things for the charity. In the end, schools were ringing her up and saying, we're clearing the school. You can have everything inside the school. People were coming into her. Churches were coming to her. Clothes, books, computers, equipment was coming from everywhere for the charity. But you know what was significant? She said she ran the charity on £2.50 budget, so to speak. Barclays Bank paid for the shipping, all the shipping. She spoke to her bank manager, and Barclays Bank paid for all the shipping that she needed. Big Storage paid for all the storage. It started off with 1 unit. She ended up with 6 units. And after she filled the 6 units, she went back to them and they gave her her warehouse. And they said that whenever someone comes to hire the warehouse, you have to leave. She was there for 4 years. That then allowed her to go to the Caribbean, went to Africa first, then the Caribbean. 136 schools were touched by donations from this country in the UK. 136 schools. 136 schools were touched with books, equipment, things they didn't have. Children were touched. Their lives were impacted. All because she made a decision. So I'm asking you today, what are the things that you've got to make a decision for your own life? Have you got a decision to make yourself? Now listen to this. She also said that she outgrew where she was. Let me tick off this list, because until you digest this kind of information, you really don't understand what's going on. She outgrew where she was. What does that mean when you outgrow where you are? Is that when you sense the discomfort, when you sense the discomfort and the dissatisfaction that you're feeling about what you're doing and where you are and where you're positioned at the moment, when you sense that, it's time for you to reassess where you are and where you're going. And when you start to reassess where you are and where you're going, it's then time for you to say, right, I've got to make a decision. I've outgrown where I am and I've got to go. Now, when you realize that, when you start to do that and you start to unpack what's inside of you, your dreams become alive. Your dream. I wrote a book called What is Your Dream in 2012, and I still talk to this very day about what is your dream. It's so important. It's so important to understand what your dream is, because until you start to unpack what your dream is, you are not living the life that you came to live. She said, don't share your dream with vision killers. How do you recognize a vision killer? These are the people that when you tell them what you're dreaming, when you tell them what you want to do, they laugh at you. And it's almost as if to almost ask the question, who do you think you are? Don't speak to these dream eaters. They consume you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to empower you to do. They're vision killers and they're dream eaters. And the thing about it, the snippets that you're getting right now, you're getting little pictures in your mind of what you want to do, of what you see for your life or what you see for yourself. You're getting snippets of it, but you're ignoring it and you're saying, that's not for me. That's not for me. Why don't you stop pushing back on what's been revealed to you right now? Stop pushing back and start accepting it and saying yes. Yes to the modeling. Yes to the speaking. Yes to the acting. Say yes to everything that's coming into your mind. Yes to the dream business that you want to do. Just say yes to it. Accept it as yours and own it. Because you've got pictures in your head. Find cheerleaders. People who are going to cheerlead your vision and cheerlead your dream. People are going to cheerlead you. Find mentors who are going to help you. And these are all notes that I've taken during the time with Dr. Pearl Jarrett this morning. I'm not going to be long. She says, dig deep. Dig deep. When you start to dig deep, you dig into yourself. You see, what you're looking for is not in America. It's not in Africa. It's not nowhere else other than inside of you. Once you release what's inside of you, those countries opening up to you, because when it opens up, it opens with the gifting that's inside of you. The gifts and abilities that's inside of you, that's what opens up. Stop asking people permission. You don't need to ask permission for where you want to go. You don't need to ask permission for your destiny. Feed what's in you. Feed your spirit. Feed your dream. Feed your ideas. 136 schools were touched. Barclays paid for the shipping. Big Yellow paid for the storage. Schools came forward and donated. Churches came forward and donated. People came forward and donated. Why am I saying this? How do you reinvent yourself, your business, and your career? Everything you need to make it happen is already inside of you. You've got it. You don't need to do anything more other than accept it and open your mind to where you're going. So post your questions. You get this on the replay, just post your questions and I'll come back to them. Post your questions. What is it that you've got to say yes to? What is it that you've outgrown? What is it that you've ignoring? What is a picture that you see that you're leaving behind? What are you leaving for your own life? Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the Message Talk Show today. It's been an amazing time. And you know what? At all times, we must also go to the sponsor.
You are listening to the Message Talk Show and podcast. Do you believe you have something to share? Do you believe you have something to contribute? Do you have a story to tell the world, to share with your community? Gandhi said, man often becomes what he believes himself to be. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So join us on the Message Talk Show and podcast with host Alex Gordon.
So tune in again to the Message Talk Show. We'll in the month of November, we'll start to bring 2 shows a week. One will be on a Wednesday evening, catering for our North American audience, and the other one is on Thursday morning, catering for the British audience. So North America, Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock, and Thursdays 11 a.m. catering for the British audience. So you're tuning to the Message Talk Show, and if you want to get on the show, just inbox Alex Gordon, the speaker, on Instagram. Miss the show. You got to be on the show.